I feel like something inside me healed. This morning I woke up feeling lighter, feeling refreshed, and it's so interesting when we live life. We might be going through life thinking this thing didn't affect me, that didn't affect me, but when you feel true release, you really know that, okay, perhaps somewhere in the dark chambers of my heart, this thing really did affect me. So last night, as the last few nights of the last few months, I've been having really intense dreams, and some dreams are just an emotional release, me cognitively working through things, but others are really spiritual in nature. And I believe last night's dream is a good combination between spiritual and emotional. Right before I go to bed, I say, God, I love you so much. Am I even saved though? I love you, I serve you, I speak with you, but I was feeling so extremely condemned by Satan. And this is the dream that God gives me. And mind you, I feel so light this morning. It was not a dream. It was so deeply spiritual. If you've experienced this, you know exactly what I mean. So right after school, I went to work for a Jewish family in America as an au pair. And as somebody that just left school, that was the most pure that I ever was. I was still a virgin. I had never dabbled in witchcraft. Yes, I'd had, I would say, a tumultuous childhood, difficult childhood. But for the most part, I was a very innocent person in my heart as well as circumstantially. And I went to work for this beautiful Jewish family, and you know, I met somebody there to whom I lost my innocence, and he also introduced me to a lot of occult practices, etc. And when I was working for this family, I was always quite resentful in the sense that, they want me to work so hard, or they want me to spend so much time with them. Now, as a 41-year-old looking back, I realized what a privilege it was. How well did these people treat me? I mean, the father even gave me a book, The Richest Man in Babylon. He wanted to be a mentor, but my mind had become infected by this person that I had met. And my innocence was corrupted to the fact that they were actually very good to me. And so when their children wanted to spend time apart from, here's part two. So whenever the children wanted to, for instance, come and sleep with me in the night, like I would be sleeping and I would feel the 3-year-old climbing into my bed. Mind you, they lived on the second floor. I lived in the basement. So it used to boggle me, like, why don't you just go to your parents' room? Why do you come to me? Instead of me taking it as such a compliment, my heart started to become affected by this person that I had met in a metal club. And if I tell you how innocent I was, it would be ridiculous for you to even like try and see that person. And you know, in the beginning, I loved those children with all my heart. I used to take them to the canal. I used to, CVS, this. I loved them so much, even though I was so young. But the more I was with the person that I was with, and the occult practices that were starting to seep into my consciousness, coffee, I really became more hardened in my heart and felt like, no, you're not paying me for when your child is creeping into bed with me at 3 a.m, etc., etc., instead of enjoying their innocence and purity. And it's so bizarre that I never even thought of this up until this morning when I woke up after having had the dream. And what triggered this is last night also, before I went to sleep, I was like, God, who is this person you created? Who is this Margaret? I want to be the Margaret you created. And then I dream of this family, that they were the people that knew me as a grown-up when I was at my most innocent, before witchcraft, before I became a stripper, before all the bad choices that I made in my life, or things that happened to me, which I will elaborate on my podcast that I'm going to start one day. Well, actually, probably in the next few weeks when I get a ring light. I have a lot of stories, but it's so interesting that God allowed me to have this dream where I was 41 years old, as I am now, and the family invited me back, and there was peace and forgiveness, and they saw me beautiful as I was. They saw me as this child that I was when I entered their home. And there was a sense of forgiveness and a sense of acceptance of me as this person who I have become. And I just say thank you, God, for healing a part of my heart. Thank you for showing me that you still see me as this innocent Margaret. God bless.